Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
These are live pictures from the Michigan State University campus where a large group has gathered near the Rock for a chance to comfort each other and to speak out.
They are gathering in honor of Brian Frazier, Ariel Anderson, and Alex Verner, the three students whose lives were cut short in Monday's shooting. Good evening. Good to have you with us at 6. I'm Devin Skillion.
And I'm Kimberly Gill. We'll take you live to that vigil in a moment, but we want to let you know the 5 MSU students wounded in the shooting spree remain in critical condition at Lansing's Sparrow Hospital. Also today, MSU police and the FBI have been helping students, staff, and others retrieve the items that they had to leave behind inside the Student Union and at Berkey Hall. And a large group of students gathered at the state capitol today, not too far from campus, to voice their concerns over gun laws that they say have failed to protect them. One group has made their way from the Capitol building to the Rock along Grand River on the MSU campus. Grant Herms walking there with them and joins us now live. They've been joined by many others there, Grant.
Yeah, Devin, Kimberly, they really have. I mean, more than 1,000 people here, easily that number, and more are still streaming in to my left and over to my right from over here. Now, the Rock is actually just a little bit to my left over this way, and that has always been a canvas for campus conversations, but none so more than the last 48 hours. The first, a message of anguish. How many more? The second, a demand. Allow us to defend ourselves and carry on campus. Then Wednesday morning, 2 students painting over that with the message: to those we lost, to those healing. Brian, Ariel, Alexandria. Finally, an artist brought in by MSU to cover it all. Always a Spartan. The artist insisting on keeping the names of the victims. The shooting has reignited the debate over whether more guns on school grounds means safer students. Both sides of the debate weighing in today.
And they don't have to get rid of guns, but we need better gun laws. We need stricter gun laws, more background checks. It's really what we're hoping for.
First off, we need to worry about the security of the campus before we really worry about the gun laws and what needs to be done at that level. You know, if that means that students or faculty have guns on campus, that could be worried about later on.
But do more guns make for safer schools? Recent data from studies at Columbia University, the Journal of American Medicine, Rutgers, and Johns Hopkins have all found an increase in guns on school grounds, including in the hands of trained officers, actually increases the likelihood of deaths during a mass shooting. But the debate will continue on campuses here at home and across the country as another community grieves and prays for something, anything, to change. Now, we have moved a little bit closer here. We wanted to show you the enormity of the crowd that was here earlier from a little higher vantage point, but we will be talking to students here at this vigil, which is set to get underway here in just a few minutes. Some words will be said at the Rock down there, and then some more will be said over here at the auditorium behind me, where there's been a podium and lights already set up. The message really tonight is always Spartan and remembering those 3 victims. Back to you.
All right, Grant. We mentioned today was the first chance for a lot of students to retrieve the things that they had to leave behind as they were running for safety Monday night.
Sean Lay got a chance to speak with some of them and joins us live from the MSU campus tonight. Sean, one student you spoke with has experienced something just like this before.
In Parkland, Florida. We're going to get to his story. First, I want to start with this, something we've been working on all day long. We know tonight from sources, and we've confirmed, a gunman was armed with 2 handguns and a backpack full of ammunition. Sources telling us he was using one of the handguns here at the Student Union. Those students dropping everything and running outside. Today, their first opportunity to go under the police tape and go back in to retrieve the things that they dropped, and it was a very difficult thing to go back in.
It was hard. I didn't know what to really expect.
18-year-old Connor Dunn is one of more than 100 students to make their traumatic walk back inside the Student Union today to retrieve things they dropped when they heard those ear-shattering gunshots.
That's when I realized that something wasn't right. At that point, I reacted. I dropped everything, dropped my phone.
Greeting those students, support dogs, FBI special victims agents inside to help students through what is indeed reliving the shooting. Connor Dunn's father here with him, saying he's proud of his son.
They didn't know what to do. right? That he kept it together. He is keeping it together.
Sources telling us when the shooter was found dead of a self-inflicted gunshot wound, his backpack was full of ammunition. And sources say he had 2 handguns. I asked MSU's police chief if he can confirm.
So you would have to talk to the state police in regards to that.
Rob Calatrava has now survived the Parkland, Florida shooting 5 years ago. His school across from Stoneman Douglas was locked down.
Yeah, I went through the Stoneman Douglas shooting.
What did you do then? You had to run at that time.
Well, so like my school is right next to it. We got kicked off campus and got into red for lockdown, and then we saw the news and we just left the area as soon as possible.
And now this.
Yeah, because the guy was, for Stoneman Douglas, he was on the run, so he could have been anywhere.
And now he had to run from his life from another gunman, this time at MSU.
I should not have to live through shootings. It should not be happening.
Back here live, let's also talk about the 5 still in critical condition. The police chief here at MSU tells me in the hospital. 1 is from China. He's an international student, so there's a lot of work being done behind the scenes to get his family here as quickly as possible. But I'm told by the chief he is not alone. His friends are with him as he tries to recover here. More about the 2 handguns. Tomorrow, investigators will give us an update. We'll be able to ask questions to find out how this gunman was able to get 2 handguns and all that ammunition. Where did all that come from? We'll continue to ask those questions and get those answers for you. Back to you.
Okay, Sean, thank you. 3.5 years before students at Michigan State University were terrorized by gunfire, Anthony McRae was arrested and charged with illegally carrying a concealed weapon.
June 2019, Lansing police were patrolling a part of the city that had been hit with business burglaries at the time, and that's when they encountered McRae. Our investigator Karen Drew here with more about that arrest. Karen.
It was June of 2019, about 2 o'clock in the morning when police arrested McRae. And according to the Lansing police report that we obtained, McRae's gun was loaded and it had 1 round chambered. Now, at the time of his arrest, Local 4, we've decided not to show McRae's face in our coverage. So for now, we're not showing that police video of his arrest.
This is the semi-automatic pistol and the ammo Lansing police confiscated 3 years ago when Anthony McRae was arrested back in 2019. Let's go back. According to police documents, McRae told police he left his house about 1:30 in the morning to buy cigarettes. He took his registered gun with him. When police encountered McRae, he was sitting on the steps outside an abandoned business building. He admitted he had a gun on him. It was in his coat pocket concealed. Now, according to the police report, Anthony stated he knows that he is not supposed to conceal carry his pistol as he does not have a concealed carry permit, but did so for protection while he traveled to the Quality Dairy. And Anthony stated he purchased the pistol from Capital Discount in late March for approximately $215 and is currently trying to obtain a concealed weapons permit.
Now, in addition to that loaded gun, police found a second loaded magazine in McRae's pocket. He was initially charged with a felony for illegally carrying a concealed gun without a permit. That charge was later dropped, and then he pled guilty to a misdemeanor for possession of a loaded firearm.
Yeah.
Now, as far as the video, what were you able to tell about McRae's demeanor? Was he belligerent? Was he cooperative?
He was pretty laid back, just sitting there, had a cigarette, really wasn't very, didn't seem anxious when he was interacting with the police. He just kind of sat there relaxed until a little bit towards the end he said, does this mean I'm going to go to jail? And then they said, no, or they didn't really respond to that, but as we all know, he spent 1 day in jail and a year of probation.
A year of probation, yep. We want to tell you there's a reminder here that if you have any photos or video linked to the MSU campus shooting or the shooter himself, who we're talking about right now, the FBI has set up an online portal for uploading those files. And we've posted a link at clickondetroit.com that'll take you to the evidence submission page. Thanks, Karen.
Okay. My trash day is tomorrow, and when I saw this one, I was like, I wonder if it's going to be whipping like this.
Be all over the place. Yes,
in my neighbor's yard.
Trash redistribution day is what it might end up being. Yeah, look at those flags, Kim.
Well, I have to tell you, it's better to have it tonight and tomorrow than it was today, because you know, they're heavy when they're full. It's the ones that got picked up this morning that are empty that are, you know, blowing down the street right now. So, and winds are going to be calming down. It's rain and freezing rain that we're expecting for the day tomorrow. But we had 60 mile per hour gusts today in Wayne County, which is why if you look at this legend here, these are the current power outages, up to 20,000 just in Wayne County alone, and then the surrounding counties about 5,000 to 7,000. So it was definitely a windy day. Winds have calmed somewhat, but it's still breezy. Here are the current wind gusts anywhere from 29 to 31 miles per hour. As we expand the view, Metro Airport did report a 60 mile per hour gust. That's the highest in the state today, but there were a few areas that reported 50 mile per hour gusts. Now our focus shifts to tomorrow when we go under a winter weather advisory for Livingston, Oakland, and Macomb counties. We expect rain and freezing rain in the afternoon, changing over to snow. I'll have more on that coming up in the forecast, but it is a great time to download our Forewarn Weather app. That way tomorrow when this rain-snow mix comes, you can have interactive radar right in the palm of your hand. Just go to your favorite app store, type in WDIV.